What's going on, guys? Greg and Stacy with our unscripted keto lifestyle. Today is Thursday, and we are just here to update you guys on our progress. I don't even know what week is this. Is this
7 and 10?
7 and 10? Down 45 pounds.
26.
So I'm a little tired today. I didn't sleep super great last night for some reason.
New pillow configuration.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I tested out a new pillow configuration. So I have one of those really big, like...
Takes up half the bed.
Yeah. It's like a elevation pillow. And it's for like sleep apnea and acid reflux and all those really cool effects. And...
Of which we don't need it for the acid reflux anymore.
True. Not a super relaxing configuration, or if it was more along the lines of... I did drink a cup of coffee later in the day because I was busy yesterday, so it's also possible I still had some remnants of caffeine in my system, but hard to say. Sadly, we've been kind of boring with our dinner selection lately.
We haven't been doing the planning that we should be doing.
No.
He likes to blame it on me, but he's just as much at fault.
No, it's really her. Although, even though, I mean, we have kind of got to the point now that we can kind of wing it and still be successful. Well, at least I have. Somebody goes over a macros at times.
I've gone over the protein a couple of times this week.
Yeah.
But not much, just slightly.
Yeah. So, overall, doing pretty good. We have a couple new recipes that I think we're going to be sharing with you that we've tested out. One is a bread recipe that we are both particularly fond of. We experimented with some cheesecake action, right? Mm-hmm. That should be coming up here soon. This stuff is pretty dense.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Next time we definitely need to cut thinner slices. I had a sandwich and a half. I'm going to take the rest of it for lunch tomorrow because they're having another luncheon at work and it's Olive Garden.
Oh, that's cool.
No more chicken gnocchi for me. No more breadsticks. So I'm going to take my grilled cheese sandwich to lunch and make another chicken sandwich. I'm having a real hard time with my fats lately.
Yep.
There's been a lot of fat bombs at my evening meals.
And you're supposed to get better at this, like
yeah.
In the beginning, like the bulletproof coffee and your crack coffee and all those are kind of the things, the staples to kind of get us started. And then you're supposed to drift off of those most of the time and kind of go into real food stuff.
But it's hard for me because, like I've mentioned in previous videos, I don't like dark meat in the chicken. Pretty much only eat the breast. I don't like regular bacon.
So the fat content in dark meat isn't substantially higher than...
No, it's not, but it's better than...
But the skin does have quite a bit more fat to it. So if you eat the skin and the dark meat, then you're actually ahead of the game.
That's nasty.
But if you're only eating the leanest part of the chicken, then you're kind of setting yourself up for issues there.
We haven't talked about yet the heartburn.
True.
I've only had it sparsely, like here and there, and it's been different times during the day. So sometimes it'll be during like the day after I eat lunch. Sometimes it won't be until I'm going to bed. But it's not nearly as bad as it was.
Yeah, that's good.
I have not taken a Prilosec in 2.5 weeks. You haven't taken your blood pressure medicine in how long?
Month.
At all? In a month? Wow.
Yep. I was supposed to check it out and I forgot. Check it again.
Yeah, so it's kind of amazing some of the stuff that we learned. We watched a documentary the other night. I got the idea from, or I got the title of it from another keto channel. The Complete Keto Couple. They were talking about some movies that they watched that are keto based and some books that they're reading. There's a book that I want to read. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll have to go back and look it up again, but it's something about keto reset. But we watched a movie called The Magic Pill on Netflix, and it's really interesting. There were some things for me where I was like, oh yeah, connect the dots, duh. For example, they talked about how, you know, when you're eating like beef or whatever from the places where they have the cows like in the buildings and they're all standing there on the cement floor and they all got the trough in front of them with the grains that they feed them, and they said in the thing, they said, you know, they're feeding the grains to the cows to fatten them up. Duh. I was like mind blown. I'm like, duh.
Yep.
We're eating grains and we're getting fat. I mean, not everybody is, but I mean, we certainly are. So that was kind of a mind blow. And then coupled with that is the fact that if we eat that type of beef, even though we're keto, we're still getting grains.
Yep. We're indirectly eating the grain
in some way or another.
Yep.
So that was kind of one of the big takeaways for me on that, and the fact that they had some people that they followed. They had some really interesting stories. You know, it was helping with kids with autism. It was helping people with cancer. Mm-hmm. Another woman with diabetes. It was helping her. It's the Aboriginals of Australia.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah. And they originally started eating kind of in that manner, the keto manner, and then the white people came in and said, no, here, take this, and it was all the other junky food, and they started like having shorter lifespans and getting diseases and illnesses and all this other stuff that they used to be a large number of people that has dwindled down over the years because of that. So it was very, very interesting. If you have time, I recommend, you know, if you have time in Netflix, I recommend watching it. It's like an hour and a half.
Something like that. One of the things that they talk about how the low-fat diet sort of came about. And since, you know, I wasn't there in the process, I don't know fully, but based on the story that they're sharing is it was, you know, one particular person who had the loudest voice signifying that this was why people are dying from heart disease, and therefore that's kind of how everybody sort of accepted it as fact because of the proof that they provided. I mean, all these studies, they can all be sort of I don't want to say tainted, but definitely manipulated to reveal specific facts that you want, and that the Food and Drug Administration and all this other stuff sort of, you know, kind of bought into that and continues to push that. So
it was very interesting. Oh, another thing I wanted to share real quick. Something that we were talking about the other night that I think I have noticed since being on the keto is I have had an issue with my hair falling out. And I think a lot of it may be due to stress, but I had
her falling out, not mine. I mean, my hair falls out because she puts stress on me too. But
I had a while ago, I had this permanent birth control put in, and had found some stuff on that where there were a lot of women that were having side effects, and I was like checking off the boxes, and I'm like, oh yeah. So about a year and a half ago, I had a hysterectomy to get them removed, and thought that would be my miracle, makes everything better, and found that it kind of didn't. It did some things. You know, I actually did start sleeping a little better, but not great. But the one thing I noticed or didn't notice is that it didn't help with the hair loss. Like I was still washing my hair in the shower. I had clumps of hair, going through after getting out of the shower, clumps of hair. It was ridiculous. But so the one thing that I have recently taken notice of is that when I'm washing my hair and after I get out of the shower and I'm like trying to dry it and everything, I am not getting those giant clumps of hair anymore. So I used to have really, really thick hair.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping I can at least get to like half of that.
And she's not a huge user presently of the collagen peptides. She's done it a couple times when you're doing your coffees, but you haven't really been doing them.
I haven't really been doing the coffee because I haven't been doing breakfast.
How's the fasting going for you? You been having any issues with that? Is it...
I'm still getting hungry around like anywhere between 10:30 and noon.
Even though you're taking tea or whatever?
Yeah, I haven't been doing tea this week. I've just been doing water.
I should hope, but...
So, I don't know. I've been having some internal struggles with wanting to just pluck something out of the cupboard and snack on it. That's been a pretty big fight for me in my head lately, and which tells me that something's got to change. I got to do something else.
I think the planning part is what's missing for her. She isn't.
I'm a poor planner.
Terrible. She hates it.
Much rather fly by the seat of my pants.
Doesn't always work.
I know.
Especially when you end the day with excessive protein, because protein just gets turned into sugar. Which isn't going to be much of a difference. Luckily, you're still fairly new into the diet and stuff, and things are probably regulating, but yeah, if you're still having a problem with fasting, you probably definitely need to increase your amount of fat you're taking, especially at night.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So this is what we'll sign off, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you subscribing. Click the bell for notifications. And as always,
stay keto.
We got a lingering ginger in our area.
Usually you see those ads online.
What? What are we doing right now?
We're talking to a camera.
We watched a